Hey guys, welcome to my channel if you are new, and thank you for returning if you are returning. Welcome back if you are returning. This is Mr. Conjure here. I did that backwards. Oh well, we're gonna keep rolling with it. This is gonna be a one take, no pauses video. This video right here is a continuation of my first Saint Expedite video. That video, literally, and I knew when I was recording it, I knew it would. That video is my highest performing video to date. Not surprising at all, working with Saint Expedite. He is powerful and he loves his praise. But it is amazing seeing just how many comments there are. I still get comments every couple days on how he came through, on how amazing he is, and just everybody's testimonials. So it has been beautiful seeing that. This video is going to be a continuation of that, a part 2. But what this video is going to be specifically, as you saw from the title, is when the spell doesn't work. You hear 9 times out of 10 that it has worked, and then you hear those comments. And I remember when I first started working with him, I would see those comments of how it just didn't work. And, you know, it would be almost frustrating because I have had my trials and tribulations where I had to find, because he is a very, very, very specific spirit on his ritual. He is actually, no offense to him, he is actually the most particular spirit I've ever worked with in general. With many people and other spirits, you have to be very particular. With me in spirits, because I do kind of have these spiritual gifts that I have, I do not have to be super particular with spirits. They let me have a lot of freedom when it comes to my rituals. He does not. Okay, so make sure you are following to a T. So this video is for when the spell doesn't work. This is going to be some tips, some tricks, some ways to kind of go at it again, go at that ritual, that same wish the second time, and make sure that it does come to fruition. So without any further ado, there goes my introduction. So let's start with why it didn't work. I have my notes here, by the way. Why didn't it? And, just so I can stay concise, because this is going to be a one and done. No stops, no pauses in this video. We're getting it out. Why didn't it work? 1, you didn't pray every day. This is number 1 for a reason. If you skip a day, the spell is done. I'm so sorry to tell you, I have tried to gaslight myself into believing that that is not the case. I've tried to, one day you may fall asleep early or drink a little too much or, spend a night over at your boyfriend's house or something and you forget to do it that day. It happens to the best of us. With most spirits like St. Jude and stuff, they don't mind. Saint Expedite does. Okay, so literally every day when you wake up or set an alarm or something, you have to pray to him daily for this request. And you have to say the same request that you wrote, exactly the same. Next, too many requests. This is something I actually forgot to put in my first video, but you must only do 1 request per time. You can't have 3 different petitions. You're asking for a car here, you're asking for a check here, you're asking for da-da-da-da-da here. You know what I'm saying? You have to go request by request with Saint Expedite. 3, you are unfocused during your ritual and when you say your prayer. Remember, you must speak out loud with Saint Expedite and you must talk a little bit slower and make sure you're being very, very clear on what you're requesting. And also, kind of a side note on that, Saint Expedite is focused on bringing things quickly. So make sure you are very clear and, like I said, concise, but make sure that you are very, very clear on what you want with your petition, because he is focused on bringing things quickly. So he will bring something that almost fits a couple days before. So like, say you've listed 10 days in your ritual. You want this done by, say, November 10th, and you do it on November 1st. By November 3rd and 4th, he's going to bring you a job that is almost perfect, but it won't be perfect, but he's trying to bring it quickly. You know, he's trying to hurry up and get his offerings, the rest of his offerings. So it's up to you to decide, is this the right job, or should I hold out until November 9th when he brings the perfect job? Because remember, you listed it to be done on or before November 10th. So that is a little tip also. He will bring things that are almost perfect earlier. You can take it if you want, but you know, it's almost a gamble, because it could either be him bringing it early, or that's kind of the best thing for you. So it's a gamble. You'll then have to consult the cards or your reader if you have a reader. Anyway, next, number 4. You took too long. Even now, you guys feel me kind of speeding through this. I have Saint Expedite invoked in the moment, and he doesn't like to be places for a long time. When I see him in my third eye, I see him right now. He's literally bouncing up and down. When I normally see him when I'm doing my rituals, he's bouncing from wall to wall to wall, like a pinball, up above me. He's just bouncing. Like I see him doing it now, but he's also kind of chilling here. So don't take too long. Invoke him and get this ritual done within 30 minutes. Have your candle, write it for him, write what you need. You can kind of see the petition on the side over here. Write your regular petition, have his offerings already ready. Offer him your cigarette. He does like cigarettes, as you can see. Offer him the cigarette if you have one with his name written on it. And get it done within about 30 minutes. He doesn't want to sit there for long. He doesn't just want to sit here and watch you gather things and hear you say the same prayer over and over and over. He's not that kind of spirit. So that's another reason it took too long. Also, number 5, wrong offerings. You gave him things that don't really match what he likes. You know, he is more traditional. And I honestly would say you cannot do this without pound cake. And I know, you know, I kind of hate when people say you can't do a ritual without. With Saint Expedite, he truly loves pound cake. I honestly would say I wouldn't attempt this ritual if I didn't have pound cake. It doesn't have to be the Sara Lee one. I've baked him pound cake and he loves that as well, because he gets more too. You know, he gets a full pound cake or a full half. But yes, wrong offerings, stick with your candles. So that kind of goes with number 7. So we'll just go to number 7 as well. With your candles, it either needs to be red or yellow. It's kind of up to you to find out through trial and error which color is the best for you. For me, yellow does not work. For others, only yellow works. I saw a comment where she was like, only, on my last video, where she was like, only yellow works for her. For me, it's the opposite. I thought yellow would work really well. For me, it does not. My rituals fail every time I put even a little bit of yellow or even use one yellow candle. The ritual with him fails. So it's up to you to find out. Try a ritual with only red, which basically whatever color seems like speed to you is the color you want to work with. If yellow seems like speed to you, that's the color you want to work with. Yellow to me is speedy, but it also fizzles out quickly. I use it more for prosperity, to bring something quickly. Next, you had unrealistic expectations. So you were asking for a new car, not even a car in your tax bracket. You were asking for a Bugatti. You were asking for a job by tomorrow. You were asking to sell your home within 3 days. You know, you were asking for something that was not feasible, and you know it wasn't feasible. And I'm not talking about something that feels like a miracle, like bringing $2,500 within a week, because I've done that with Saint Expedite. You know, nothing like that. I'm talking about things that just really felt out of this world. Or when you were doing the ritual, you could feel it was unrealistic, but you kept trying anyway. And then lastly, we have no timeline. Saint Expedite likes not only a timeline on when he needs to get this done by, not the word isn't timeline, it's a deadline. There we go, on when he needs to get this done by, but he also likes that deadline to be quickly. Don't set it out for this makes a heart. I'm out here looking at it. That's literally a heart right here. A perfect heart. That is crazy. Anyway, shout out to you, Saint Expedite. He likes for it to be, don't push it out 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I want this within a month, unless that's the only thing that seems feasible to you and you are willing to do your prayer every single day for a month. Okay? But he likes within a week. He likes within a week and a half, within 10 days. He wants something realistic, but something that he is almost challenged on. Yeah, that's what I would say. Something that's a challenge for him. Now, let's move on to tips and tricks on how to, you did your first ritual, it didn't work. Here is your second ritual, right? This is what you're going to tweak with that first ritual to make this work. I have bribed him with offerings. This is one of the best, okay? One of my top tricks. If it didn't work the first time, again, make your other changes that you need to make. But sometimes Saint Expedite, you have to be careful with him. I'm not going to say he's childlike. Same in the first video. I'm not going to say he's childlike. But you can almost think of him in that just very speedy, not manic, but I need to get this done now kind of way. If you give him too many offerings in the beginning, he may not have an incentive to bring you what you were looking for. That's why I say only give him half of your offerings in the beginning, but even that may be too much. So last time I did this ritual for this client, that's what this is for. I spoiled Saint Expedite. I gave him all of the offerings I'm giving him now, plus like 5 other, like I gave him the wine up front, I gave him the water up front, I gave him the candles, the pound cake, the apples, the flowers, the cigarettes. Like I literally decked it out for him, and I was like, I'll double this. This time, now mind you, also I had missed like 2 days worth last time, so I think it actually was due to that. But this time, I'm only giving him pound cake, water, cigarette, and candles. And then when he brings this, because I am asking something very big, so when he brings it, then I'll also, and I told him this, I'll be giving you the flowers, the wine, videos, singing your praises, more cigarettes, more pound cakes, more water, you know. That is, ooh, I just feel him now. Even just saying that right now, I'm just feeling like warmth spread all through my body. Like he's excited for that, right? You got to keep up the excitement with Saint Expedite. EX for excitement, Saint Excitement. But, what was I saying? Oh yeah, you got to keep up the excitement with him. You got to bribe him almost with that, so that now he has something. Yeah, he may have these offerings here, but ooh, it's like when you tell your kid for their report, if you get a good report card, you get to get a da-da-da-da-da. If you're good for the year, you'll get some really good stuff for Christmas. It's kind of like that type of thing. And then that I do notice he brings it on that second go round. Next, this says, I can't read anymore. Oh yes, faster deadlines, absolutely. So narrow that time a little more. If you said 2 weeks before, say 10 days now. If you said 10 days before, try it in a week. Next, more candles and flames. So when this goes out, this is the only offering that I do replace, because this isn't only working as an offering. This is working as keeping this altar and your dream alive. So as long as this flame is going, Saint Expedite, I've noticed, as long as this flame is going, it's almost like keeping his energy going. It's almost like a battery. So I have, as soon as this goes out, I have another one already waiting, already anointed, waiting for him, lit for him. So more candles. Do not let this flame go out, essentially. Next, petition under candle. Oh yes, so when you write your petition, a stronger way, and the way I always do it, is just take it and put it right under the candle and let the candle burn on top of it. That also works as a quote-unquote battery. And then last but not least, warm up your pound cake. Yes. Saint Expedite, like I said, he loves pound cake. If before you say your prayer, you want to pop this bad boy, this bad boy right here. If you want to pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds, warm it up so that it smells fresh and it's literally wafting right under his nose if you have a statue or a picture of him and he can really smell it. Again, it's about keeping him excited. Warm this bad boy up if it makes you feel like it's even stronger. So yes, we have made it through the list. This is my tips and tricks on why the spell didn't work and how to make it work the second go round. If that second go round, you've given it all your might, you tried every single step, because this is quite literally A through Z of how to do it with him. If it didn't work, you know, it may not be super realistic. You may want to get Saint Jude in the mix for your second go round. You may want to go ahead and invoke Saint Jude, who I actually have his altar right here. He's literally right here. He is for hopeless situations, so you may want to go ahead and try to work with him, as there may need to be even more power added to this. You may need that intervention of somebody who can make the hopeless happen. Saint Expedite can bring things quickly, but he can also kind of do the hopeless. So anyway, yeah, you may kind of want to consult your cards, find out if what you're trying to do is actually realistic, what you need to tweak, etc. And then lastly, that's about it. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Feel free to use this to sing the praises to Saint Expedite, to Saint Expedito, as he does deserve it. And, oh, another tip and trick. You may not be saying Hodie as well. Make sure you're saying Hodie at the end of your rituals, which means to get it done fast, to get it done quickly. I forgot the exact translation in Latin. I always say Hodie, Hodie, Hodie. Why wait for tomorrow? What can get done today? All right, it's been me, Mr. Conjure. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want any personal spell work or personal readings, my email is below. Have a good one.